With this awesome BMW S1000R as a backdrop to this video, welcome back to V Project UK. Now, if you've seen the title of this video, you've already established that we're going to be talking about CarPro's Iron-X Cherry scent and also CarPro's Iron-X Lemon scent. And you've hopefully already established as well that there's some differences between the two products that goes beyond the smell. In this video, we're going to talk about what the differences are, how the differences came about, and what this means in real-world application when you use either one of these two products. So, without wasting too much time, let's start the video. So, if you've used CarPro Iron-X before, you would have noticed that a couple of years ago the application was slightly different, and the reason it was different is that CarPro actually changed the formula. Again, if you've used any iron decontamination process products before, you will know that these things absolutely stink. It doesn't matter that this says cherry scent and the other one says lemon scent, these things just pong like crazy. And the reason that CarPro decided to change the formula is they actually tried to make it less smelly. That's basically the upshot of why they changed the formula. In doing so, what they did is remove some of the active ingredient, which meant that it was now 10% less effective, even though cherry scent now has a faster reaction time, but it was 10% less effective, and also it will dry out a lot quicker. Now, the thing we love about CarPro is that they listen to professional detailers, and what they did is that they went back to the original formula and they called it lemon scent. What you would find is that if you apply this product to the entire vehicle's paintwork or entire vehicle surface, sometimes you want a slightly longer dwell time, which means that the smell is not so important because you need the performance of the product. So, if you're going to do a couple of wheels at a time, then maybe the cherry scent is fine because it will have a quicker reaction time and it won't stay wet as long. However, as professional detailers, if you're going around the entire vehicle, we found that cherry scent will dry out just too quickly, that little bit too quickly, and also it was slightly less effective because it had less active ingredient. So credit to CarPro, they listened to professional detailers, went back to the original formula and created lemon scent. However, as just mentioned, this thing still stinks. I can't smell lemons at all. I'm sure you probably can't either. However, the most important thing is that it has the high effectiveness of the previous formula and it has a longer dwell time. So the main differences are that Iron-X has slightly less odour, has a faster reaction time, will dry out slightly quicker. However, having said that, is now slightly cheaper to buy. So at the time of doing this video in the UK, this now retails at £10 for 500ml. The advantage of lemon scent is that it has a longer dwell time, it's more effective by 10% because it has more active ingredient. However, it will cost you 10% more to buy. So even though this is a 1 litre bottle, the equivalent 500ml of lemon scent would cost you about £12 in the UK at the moment. So those are the two main differences between these two products, and we'll just show that in a picture now. So, having said that, there's no right or wrong in using either product. There might be a situation where you might be doing, for example, just one wheel and you want a slightly faster reaction time, in which case you can use the cherry scent. It might be a situation where you're decontaminating, the entire vehicle's paintwork, which means you might want a slightly longer dwell time, which means you might want to use lemon scent. So what we're going to do now is to show the difference in the effectiveness of the two and how much more active lemon scent is over cherry scent. We're going to do a quick demonstration on a panel and hopefully we'll see some differences. So let's do that now. So as you can see, we've got the perfect candidate here, a white car, which means that the CarPro Iron-X reaction will show up quite nicely. So on the left hand side, what we're going to do is use CarPro Iron-X Lemon scent. And on the right hand side of the tape line, we're going to use CarPro Iron-X Cherry scent. And hopefully there'll be a clear divide between the reaction of the two products. So first of all, on the left, we'll spray lemon scent quite evenly. And then on the right hand side, we'll spray the new formula cherry scent. Now, even though it was quite a sunny day when we done this footage, the panel is in the shade and it's quite cool. So it's important you make sure you don't apply this product in direct sunlight and do not let it dry out. So after letting IronX dwell for about a minute or so, even though the cherry scent is supposed to have a faster reaction time, what we could see is that the lemon scent, because it's stronger formula, actually reacted quicker. And although it's a little bit difficult to see, hopefully you can see on the footage on the left hand side that the reaction is turning purple a lot quicker than it is on the right hand side where you've got cherry scent. So it just goes to show that the stronger formula is actually more effective in real life. And I'll just bring the camera closer now so you can hopefully see that on the left hand side, even though you've got some reaction on the right hand side where the cherry scent is, you've got much more purple showing up on the left. Just goes to show that lemon scent is more potent as described. Hopefully this is coming up on the footage quite clearly. So once both IronXs are dwelled for about 3 minutes, you can clearly see that there is a reaction on the cherry scent, but you can see on the lemon scent side there's much more reaction as it's a stronger formula. So what we've done now, before we let it dry out, obviously don't let this product dry on your panel. We gave it a good rinse just to make sure that everything is washed away. One thing we love about IronX is that it rinses away super easily and leaves nothing behind. Now, what you're supposed to do before you actually rinse IronX away is get a damp microfiber towel, maybe spritz some IronX onto the towel and actually wipe the panel before you actually rinse it away. But what we wanted to do is to see how effective just IronX on its own is without any physical intervention. So we didn't do it on this occasion. Now, this panel has never been treated to iron decontamination before. So what we wanted to do is actually apply IronX again to see how much contamination is still left behind before we've used a physical means of actually wiping away those iron filings. So using the awesome CarPro Dhydrate towel, again we've got a video for this towel, so if you've not seen it, make sure you check it out. We're just going to give the panel a quick wipe and then apply both IronXs again to see how much contamination is still left behind. So once again, what we're going to do is put lemon scent on the left hand side and put cherry scent on the right hand side. Again, nice even application. It doesn't have to cover everything, but as long as you've got enough coverage that when it drips down, it will actually go across the entire panel. Another detailer's top tip is don't apply this product if it's windy, because the overspray can spray everywhere, and if you're working in an isolated area you don't want it to go everywhere if you don't want to do so. Once again, once it's applied, we'll let it dwell and we'll see what reaction we get. So after leaving the second application for about 1 minute, we can already see there's some reaction with some iron filings that were not removed on the first application. So we can see on vehicles which have not ever been treated to IronX treatment before or any sort of iron remover, that sometimes one application might not be enough. And again, you can hopefully see on the left hand side where we put lemon scent, which is a stronger formula, there's a lot more reaction compared to the right hand side. This just goes to show that wiping with a microfiber towel is quite important, because just rinsing might not remove everything, and sometimes you need that physical intervention using that microfiber towel to dislodge any iron filings that might be on the panel. So once IronX had been dwelling for about 3 minutes, again before letting it dry out, we just got some IronX onto a damp microfiber towel. Now although this towel looks dirty, it's actually clean, but for something like this you don't need a perfectly clean towel. As long as it's not dirty, you can use a microfiber towel which might be a bit stained and old, as we've done in this demonstration here. And just applying no pressure, just wipe off any IronX which you might have left behind, wiping away that iron filing contamination. Now at this stage, because you've now wiped it, IronX will start to dry quite quickly, so it's quite important to make sure you rinse the panel as quick as you can, because you don't want any remaining residue from IronX to start drying on the panel. And you can see by the handle how much contamination is still running down that section. So now make sure you give it a thorough rinse, rinsing any residue away. And as mentioned before, IronX rinses away super easily, leaving nothing behind, which is one of the reasons we love it so much. Now, just for the purposes of this demonstration, what we decided to do is actually go in for a third application just to see how much contamination is left behind. So once again, using the CarPro Dhydrate towel, we just gave this section a quick wipe down, make sure there's no water left behind, and actually go in with a third application just to see how much reaction we get. So this time what we did is let the product dwell for the full 3 minutes to see how much reaction we get and just how much bleeding we get from the third application. So once the 3 minutes were over, before again we let it dry out, just bring the camera in to show you how much contamination is left behind. And as you can see, there's not much, but you can still see some purple bleeding, and you can actually see more on the left hand side again where lemon scent is more potent than the cherry scent. And it just goes to show that if you have a vehicle which has never been treated to an iron decontamination before, sometimes the decontamination can be quite stubborn, and one application might not be enough, even though you've used a microfiber towel to wipe those sections and wipe any contamination away. So hope you'll find that this is quite interesting results, as we found it quite interesting as well. Once again, once this demonstration was over, just a really good rinse to make sure any IronX is rinsed away, make sure there's nothing left behind. Once again, as mentioned before, rinses away super easily, leaving nothing behind. And at this stage, once you've done your tar following it onto your iron removal, the vehicle will now be ready for clay barring. Again, if you've not seen our video on clay bar and clay mitt, make sure you give it a watch, and that will go through the whole claying process. Well, there we have it. So hopefully you found that demonstration useful. As you can see from the packaging, both products are safe for car paint, wheels, glass and plastics. They're both pH neutral, so they're about pH 6 to 7, which means they're safe for all vehicle surfaces. If you've seen our ceramic coat video, you would have seen us talking about even pH 7 neutral products can affect the hydrophobic properties of any protection you might have, which includes ceramic coatings. So if you use anything like this, any sort of decontamination product, make sure you go over it with your LSP, your last step protection, to make sure your protection and hydrophobic properties are still there. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the bell icon, and please make sure you do subscribe, because every subscription helps, will help us grow the channel and help us produce content for this channel. So hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.